So I've got a little bit of a background, I guess, in technology. I've sort of worked in a few different companies through my life, and each time it's really been about trying to, I guess, embark on a new problem or on a new learning space. So I originally come from Australia, so you can probably tell from the accent. And yeah, I've had a chance to work for a couple of different companies in Australia that ultimately led me into the internet space, into the, I guess, the technology space where it's connecting people. Starting sort of in the medical industry around university, putting more and more content online, and then ultimately landing in the travel space, so online travel, as it was in Australia. And little company there called What If ended up becoming the biggest online travel agent, and ultimately, some time later, got on the, I guess, the roadmap for Expedia's acquisition, and so we joined Expedia, and so yeah, most of my time has been spent one way or another working in online technology.
What is it that attracts you? Why Maersk?
The big attraction, I guess, is there's just, there's the element of history that comes with a company like Maersk. Even in Australia, I'd seen the star going around on the back of containers on the back of trucks, and if I'd been near a port, you'd see it on the back of a big ship. And so yeah, knowing the brand and thinking to myself, that's obviously a global brand that I want to know more about. And then looking at the problem space, like this industry, I think, is really at a turning point in terms of what comes next, and a big part of what will drive that is technology. And so having the chance to, I guess, be in the wave that was the travel wave with technology, which is largely digital based these days, more than 50% penetration in terms of how much you use it. It's quite common. You think travel, you're not afraid to pick up your phone and search for one of the major brands and choose a place to stay, whereas that's not as common in this space. So it represents a big opportunity to say, is there an opportunity to do more? And looking into Maersk, clearly there is.
And what is it that you can actually put on the table?
Even just putting things into a container, the process is not simple. It's complex. As a customer, you usually have to ask someone else to do the work for you, and I think that is exactly how the travel agent concept came to be online, is how do we make online travel agents, OTAs, which the acronym became. So it suggests to me that there's a similar problem to be solved, I think, in this industry. How do we make it easy for a customer, whether you're an individual or whether you're a big company, to leverage that understanding of what it takes to fill up a container. You move your goods from wherever they need to go from to.
What are the main challenges that you as a software engineer can actually dig into and solve?
The interesting thing is there's so many connecting parts. So any kind of interesting engineering problem usually revolves around solving problems around connecting parts. If you look now at Apple and their new chip that they're making around the M1 chip they're making that is taking the industry by storm, they've looked at a common set of problems that we looked at for years and just gone about it in a different way. I think if you look at all the parts that connect the logistics together, there's so many problems to solve in there. And as an engineer, as a software engineer, you can't help but want to be interested in that. And I guess modern technologists are very interested in using data to do that. So if you think about understanding how all the parts connect, then using that data to sort of inform you on how you might connect things better, how you might learn a better way.
And what are the main projects that you are working right now on?
So I guess there's a lot of people that want to help solve problems in this space. There's a lot of external companies that have solved a piece of the puzzle. I think what makes us unique is that obviously we are in the ecosystem providing the service. We are the ships, we are the trucks, we are the railways, we are the warehouses. But the bits that connect those parts together is where some of the magic lies. And I think, having leveraged the best of other people's work, how do we bring that together? How do we orchestrate that in a way that makes it better than the sum of the parts? And I think, for someone in software, lots of people talk about leveraging APIs, leveraging integration to make things better. I think, coming from the industry that was all about being an agent, bringing together the two sides of an amazing marketplace in travel, I think that's the kind of technology we're going to build here. How do we bring together all those parts? How do we bring together the best, I guess, of the integrators, the people that are doing the software work, assembling them in a novel way that then makes a solution for the customer that's unsurpassed by anybody else.
And when you look at those challenges, what is it that inspires you?
Obviously, the size of a problem, because that's what we tend to be addicted to. How do we go and solve this? How do we do this better? I think there's even a classic expression: if you give an engineer a problem, they'll want to solve it forever, because they just can keep making it better. And I think, but over time, it is interesting to try different problems to solve. Like, just iterating on the same thing. And a lot of our big tech competitors that we're looking at now, the Amazons, Googles, Facebooks, they're the kinds of companies that we're going to be competing with for some of the people who want to come and join us. Now, there's lots of fun problems there, but you'll often end up, particularly in mature tech companies, where you're solving some little part of the problem, and you really get caught up in that space. You might be the best in some component of maps. You might be the person who looks after the like button. Now, whereas somewhere like this, there is so many new problems to solve that you really have a chance to move around. You really have a chance to engage on, the kind of engineering problems that can have really, really big impact, not just that incremental change you might get in a more mature technology company. So I think that's going to be a big attracting factor to work here. It's certainly a big attracting factor for me.